right here, I'm taking a MIDI file, which is here. I'm taking a MIDI file and I'm turning it into an audio file in order to have more control of it. So I adjust my velocities on the bass the way I want it, and now I'm going to already transfer it over to an audio file, and now when this track plays, it would only have just this, let me kill these rescue instruments. It would only have just the bass. So now I'm just going to, I got to EQ the bass, compress it, put my reverb on, and this is what the bass will sound like. I'll turn my loop back on. I got to make sure it don't clip. So that sounds perfect right there. Here it is with the drum track. When you mixing, from my knowledge, when you mixing, make sure your master, don't set your master here. Mine is -6.4. Don't set it to 0. You need room to work with. So I got plenty of room to work with. So when I want to turn this up to, I'm mixing now. I'm not mastering. I'm mixing. And after I'm mixing, I'm gonna send it out to master. I'm gonna master it myself. I'm gonna show you my techniques what I use to master. I'm not no master genius, but I got a little basic skill based on my knowledge from going to school. So just remember that. Never turn this past 0. So all your tracks will never, none of them should never go past 0. You should always turn down, never up. So always set everything to 0, and then from there work down. If you need to turn it up into the instrument. Turn it up into the instrument versus the main channel. Okay, so I'm going to go back. I'm going back to my bass by itself, and then I'm gonna mix the bass. I'm gonna put some EQ on it, and you'll see what I do. That's EQ right there. I'm EQing, so that's all highs right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and adjust it. I'm using the 8-band EQ, but I'm probably only gonna use 4 of the bands. So right now I'm watching my peaks. If I set this up, you can see it a little bit better. Pointer at, this is what I'm sweeping this. So I want to sweep it. So my first band is so I'm gonna set this because I'm gonna cut off some of them lows right there. Sometimes it's about 4. And always remember this: for every decimal you go up, you gotta minus the gain. So I'm gonna minus my gain probably like, I think I went up like 3-4 dB. So I'm gonna go down 2 and see what it sounds like. Always you gotta minus, you gotta compensate. So I'm satisfied with that. And now I'm gonna go ahead and drop this EQ here, my 4-band, and I'm sweeping now, left to right. You hear the difference? And if you see right here, this is what I'm following. So really, I don't have nothing here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set this 2 times it by 4, and I'm gonna sweep. What I'm doing, I'm cutting out some of the lows. I mean, some of the highs. Now I'm gonna go to my 2-band, and I'm gonna sweep up, because I need to get these. But I'm gonna set my Q. I'm gonna squeeze that Q. See how that's going up and down? I don't want all them frequencies in there. So I'm gonna probably leave it about right there. I do everything by ear. So now I'm gonna sweep this. Every time I go to each band, I'm sweeping. So now I'm going to my 3-band. You hear the difference? I need these frequencies right here to come in. So I'm gonna go ahead and cue that. That's cueing. So they see it get narrow. The wider you got, the wider I got, I get this. From here to here, I get these. When I cue it, I tighten it up. I don't want all of them in there. So I'm gonna sweep again. But I'm gonna bring this back on over. See how you hear more of the highs? I need to hear them, so I'm gonna sweep. See, I'm still muffled. I hear muffled. So I'm gonna sweep a little bit more this way. See, I cut out some of these lows right here. See these lows right here? I'm cutting them out versus because now I ain't got that muffle. But this is just by itself with the bass. So now I gotta figure out this is just by itself with the bass. So but after I do this, now I gotta play the drum track with it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and play the drum track and see what it sounds like. Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and compress it though. I drop the compressor in there. When I'm mixing, I don't put a lot of compression or EQ on it. I put enough because the mastering gonna take care of that. So I'm gonna go ahead now and compress this a little bit. Compression means squeezing a motherfucker's head. You get a motherfucker's head, you squeeze the shit out of it. So I'm gonna squeeze it, and you hear the difference. I'm at a 2.0 ratio. You got loud, getting louder, getting louder. Versus no compression. Set my thrust now. And for every thrust, for every time you go down your thrust, you gotta set your output. So I'm gonna leave it about right there, and then I'm gonna bring my output up. I'm peaking though. You see I'm peaking right there? I was peaking a little bit. You go to your output, see that peak? Right here? You don't want that. So I'm gonna turn it back down a little bit. And my attack, I'm going to drop my attack all the way down. I don't want no attack on it. And my release right here is how long the compression going to hold. I let it hold to the to the note, to what I'm playing. So right now there's no release. And because that's a slap bass, I don't need much release, so it's gonna slap and it's gonna catch, the compression gonna catch. So now I'm gonna do it. This is no compression. This is no EQ. EQ, compression. In order to hear this bass, you gotta put on some headsets. So I advise you to put on some headsets if you wanna listen. If I'm wrong in anything, just let me know. Leave a comment on your knowledge on it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and play with the drum track. And always remember, when you mixing, everything gotta sit in its own range. If I set my kick drum to the same range, they're going to collide. So I gotta sweep in order. I might set my kick at 500 kilohertz versus 150 kilohertz. So now I want to hear them both together. I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit of reverb on that bass, so I can kind of detain it a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. to sit somewhat in a mono. In any program, you go into like a utility to separate. I'm using a utility on let me get rid of these. Let's get rid of this other stuff right here, and I'm gonna keep that there because I had that. You use a utility on Ableton allows you to. I set my utility first before compression and all that, and my EQ. Oops, my bad. I set my utility first before all that. And then now what a utility does, it allows me to use my bandwidth. And if you can hear the difference. That's why. The closer I bring it in, I don't want it wide. I want it to be like mono by itself. Same thing with the bass. I'm going to copy this. Now you can hear the difference. Sometimes I don't want my bass to sit in that same bandwidth as my kick, so I'm probably gonna maybe 50%. So I gotta listen. So right there, that sounds pretty cool to me, right? So now I'm gonna go in and mix my other instruments into the track. And it's best to try to get into your color coding, knowing my bass is orange. So I set my bass to be orange. Let me go ahead and get that orange. And that way I always know that my bass is orange. And then my kick, my drums is always blue. So I'm gonna set these to blue, just to always stay in my color coding. That way I know what I'm working with. So now we got blue and we got orange for the bass, and then like my piano and all that is like green. So now I'm gonna go in and play the instruments, other instruments, into this track, and I can go ahead and mix them. about ready to mix right now. Sorry about that. I don't know why I keep doing that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to solo my chords. These are my chords that I played. There's no samples in this track. This is all me playing. So I'm going to go ahead and now I got to listen to these chords. So what in the fuck is it doing? So now you see right here. These are my chords, right? All these are my chords. A 4-bar chord, and I looped it, right? This is MIDI. These are MIDI tracks. So when you mix it, you can leave it at MIDI, but I always use audio. You have more control in audio. This tutorial is copyright 2019, all rights reserved. I just want to let you know that you can leave it in MIDI and still put EQ and compression, but you don't have much control over it. So that's why now when I'm using MIDI notes, I'm only messing with my velocity. So I'm going to click on this and make sure I got no EQ. So there's no EQ, nothing on here. Even though the EQ is on, I'm going to turn it off. And now I'm going to go ahead and play and listen to the velocity of my chords. And if you see the chords right here, these are my chords. So I was like, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop this 2 bars. And I always deal in like 2s or 1s. I 4-bar loop, but I'm not worrying about these other ones. I want to worry about these because I got to wait until that plays out. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. So what I'm going to do is mess with the velocity. The velocity is the volume of these notes as I hit them. So when I played these notes, that was my velocity. These little balls right here, they were too close together. I want to separate them. I want to separate the volume. It was cool when I was playing it, but I wasn't worrying about mixing. I was worrying about getting my melody down. So here's what I'm going to do now. And you're going to listen. In order to hear this, you got to put on some headsets to listen to the difference. This tutorial is nothing but mixing. It's probably be a 3-part mixing because I'm only going to go an hour. Mixing takes a long fucking time for me. I spend at least probably 5 hours per beat in mixing, and then another hour in mastering. So here's where I'm at now. I'm listening to these chords. I'm listening to these chords right here. These 2 right here. And I'm going to set my volumes. You hear the difference? So I'm turning them all down but that first note. That's 1 note. Slightly. And when you use velocity in mixing for you producers, don't be afraid to mix your own stuff. Like, you just gotta know, the more shit you put on it, the more it's gonna sound fucked up. Everybody wants loudness. I want loudness, but I want clarity. I want it to sound smooth. I want it to transition. I use transition words. I treat music like English. Transition words. So from here to here, right here, this line is a transition word. That's the transition. And then when I go to these, I'm only dealing in 2 bars. So you heard the difference. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take these. Let me bring this up so you can see a little bit more. right here is this is velocity. Velocity is the amount of pressure you put on a key. So right now I'm at 97 as the highest pitch, which is here. I'll let you hear it right here. This is the highest pitch. And then this pitch. And then this pitch. And then this pitch. So now I'm going to hear the difference. I want to see what it sounds like in my transition. First I'm going to see what it sounds like by itself, and then when it transition, I'll adjust. I hope this makes sense. Now listen to the difference when I bring this velocity up. You hear it? I'm only going to loop it one bar. See, if I turn it above it, I don't want to go above it. You listening? I'm going to do my next one. It's here. So that's cool. So what I did was I used my lower velocity, and then I went up and I just kind of put it into like a ladder. So now I'm going to let it transition into the next one and see what it sounds like. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing for these chords here. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start adjusting. You hear the transition? Listen. I'm going to bring this up. This A sharp up. I'm going to bring it up. Listen. You hear that? I'm listening. I need the chords to talk to one another. So when I mix, I hate fucking mixing, I'm not gonna lie. But sometimes the things you hate is the things you love in reality. So now I just want to, I got the first bar, the second bar, the third bar, and then the fourth bar is chopped up into my change up. So I'm just gonna listen. Now I'm gonna go to my third one. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm turning them down, all of them down, all but the highest pitch. I'm gonna turn down. I'm gonna keep the highest pitch up. You hear that? So now I'm gonna start coming up. So what I'm gonna do here, the low note, I'm gonna bring back up. This is experimenting. The highest note, I'm gonna take it all the way down. And everything else is down, so I'm gonna keep the high note up and see what it sounds like. Watch when I start coming up with it. Now I'm going to bring the high note back in. That's maxed out. I don't want that. I want to sit about right here. It's still off. I'm going to bring it back down to the lowest. So now they're talking. They're talking to one another. Listen to it. Now I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to take my fourth bar. I'm going to do the same thing. And see how they talk to one another. I didn't adjust the fourth bar, which is here. I didn't adjust this here yet. So all I'm gonna do now is I don't need to hear the first. All them talking, they in the conversation. This fourth bar coming into the conversation, but I need the third bar and the fourth bar. The third bar and the fourth bar is talking together now. And right here is where I'm listening at. Right here, I mean. So what I did was, I broke up this fourth bar in the two beats. So I want these two right here, these chords here, to talk. This chord is talking to this chord. So I want them to talk together. So I want to see. So I'm not gonna play these. This is the last part of the conversation when somebody come in. Oh, what y'all talking about? So I'm gonna listen to these two now. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other ones. I'm going to turn them all down, but one. that's a four chord. That's 4 chord versus all of them 4 chords, but these one here is 5 chords. I mean 6 chords. Now you hear the difference? You hear that? Come in the conversation. See, I like that, but I'm gonna bring them in a little bit more. I need some more information. So I'm gonna bring my A sharp up. Sounding good, right? I like that, right? Now I'm gonna bring my other bar. I'm gonna bring in the other beat in and let them talk. I need them all in though. So now I already know that these two here are talking. That's talking to this. These two having a conversation. So now I'm going to slide my loop over and make the 4th bar chopped up talk as a final outcome. I'm going to do the same thing. Hear that? And because the conversation, sometimes that conversation, that last person always want to talk over everybody else. I want them to talk, so I'm gonna leave this G major chord. I want that one note, which is the G, to talk, and then I want all the F and the C sharp and the A sharp and the back down to the low G sharp to the A sharp to fill in with it. Whereas, you know, the lower I go down here is bass. The higher, it's higher pitch. So watch what I do with it. Do the same thing here. Do the same right here. Turn them all down but the highest one. You hear it? Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start with, I like that, you talk. You hear the difference? So now I know I got to make a choice. Do I want this last beat to get his last word in, or do I want it to be subtle, going out into the, back into the loop? So I'm gonna leave that high note, this note here. I'm gonna leave this note by itself right here. I'm gonna leave it up there, but I'm gonna turn him up just a little bit more. loud. So this note gotta come down. Something clashing. So I like that. So now I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back from the beginning, and I want to see what kind of conversation they have. And this is what it's going. This is mixing. So now they're gonna all talk, and I'm gonna see how it plays. Okay, so I like that. I like the talking. Now I'm going to play with the drums. The loud motherfucker, he trying to talk over everybody. So I want to tone him down a little bit because I need to transition to the next part. And I need him to come down a little bit because he's showing the fuck off. And I don't like him. I don't like him coming in our conversation with his loud ass fucking mouth. I treat my mixing like I'm talking to people. I don't like that dude. He coming in the last conversation. He want to do everything. He the motherfucker ain't got no weed. And he want to smoke all the weed up. But he ain't got no weed. He ain't got no food. He ain't got no munchies. But he want to come in and tell everybody what to do with this shit and tell you to pass the fucking joint. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. So I'm going to tone him down a little bit. And how I'm going to do that is, instead of me adjusting, I like what I got. I'm just going to highlight all these here. I'm going to highlight everything here. From here, I'm highlighting all these joints right here. And I'm going to turn them all down. I'm going to turn them all down. And keep them at that same thing that I like. I'm going to keep them all there. But I'm going to turn their asses down because he talking shit. And he get ready to get kicked out of my mama's house. So I'm going to turn his ass down. All together, all at once. Keep the same thing what I had. Oh, fuck. Come on, man. I forgot the command to make all these, Let me try that again. There was a command I used to use. I can't remember it. It was a shortcut. So now I'm gonna turn all these motherfuckers down. And I'm gonna listen to the mix. So now I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna play. what I just accomplished was the bass, the drums, the bass, and the keyboard is talking to one another in a conversation. Now I accomplished that. Now I got other little background motherfuckers in the background talking shit. They got their own little joints and shit then rolled up because they didn't got an ounce of weed, and they really don't need to fuck with nobody, and they throw us a couple joints. You know how the game go. So now I'm adjust their levels. So that's good. Sometimes you get carried away. So now what I gotta go in, I gotta take, since I created that, now I gotta turn this into an audio file. So now I'm gonna turn these into an audio file since I got them to the level I want. And that will be considered, I'm gonna move them up in rank. They're gonna come up there with the bass because all of them having conversations. I'm gonna move them up. And now I'm going to make this into an audio file. And I'm going to call this keys. I'm going to name this keys so I won't get confused. And I'm going to turn them green. And I'm going to turn this green so I know that was part of the keys too. And this as well. Okay, so now we talking, right? They're having conversations. So now I'm going to go ahead and make this it's 5 addictive keys. I'm going to go ahead and, if you're Ableton user, you have to set that input to what it is in order for it to read. So now I'm going to set and record here. So you see the post mix is mixing. You hear your signal coming in. So they solo. I gotta make sure I ain't got nothing on this. Nothing's on that, right? Okay. Nothing's on that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and record these into there. So you see my signal right here, too low, so I gotta turn it up. I'm gonna turn him up. Turn him up probably like 10 dBs. I'm gonna turn him up. I gotta turn my volume down on my main mixer though. And now the signal should come in louder. What you bring in is what you get. See the level getting louder? Saw that, right? I want to come up a little bit more. All I'm going to do is turn the main thing up that I'm bringing in. I'm going to turn it up. I won't even go all the way up. I want to go up to like, I want him to come up to 0. I want him to be up 0. So I'm going to do -0. I'm type in -0, 0, and now it hit 0. I'm clipping though. See that red clipping? Look. If I record that in there, that's what I get. I don't want that. I gotta come down. So that's cool right there. So I'm gonna bring him in. Still clipping, still sounds a little clippy, so I'm gonna bring him down a little bit more. What I noticed around right here, you see how this got louder? So I have to go on my 1, 2, 3, 4, that 5th, which is right. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That 5th one, they gotta come down. I gotta bring these down. Because they too loud. So I'm gonna just highlight these here, and I'm gonna bring them down in velocity, so they won't be so. They sound distorted. So I'm gonna bring them down just a notch, right here. See how they sound then. I gotta go ahead and kill this other one over here because that's what's playing. We'll kill that, and then I'm record again. Watch the wave. Okay, this one here, I'm gonna leave it like that. I can adjust that when I go into my final mixing. I'm gonna adjust that. So far that's cool. So, but I'm gonna play the loop back and just to make sure. I'm gonna solo this and I'm gonna play. So as you notice, when it loops, I hear a little clip, just a little clip. So I'm gonna fade that out a little bit. I'm gonna turn on my fade, and I'm gonna fade this out just a tiny bit, not a lot. I'm gonna stretch it out a little bit. You see this fade right here? This will stop that from clipping. So you got it's gonna clip. So now I'm gonna play it, and then I'm gonna bring the beginning. I'm gonna fade in the beginning because I don't want that. I don't want them. I don't want that to clip like that. You don't hear it, but I hear it. As a mixer, you know that. So now I'm gonna see what it sounds like. Some of that, the extra grit, I like that. I want that grit on there. Cause in the conversation, this motherfucker's gonna be gritty in the conversation. So I want them to be gritty. So now I got my audio, which is playing. Now I'm gonna EQ it and compress it and put a little reverb and put it in the mix with the drum and the bass. Make sense? Now listen. Now watch how I do this. I'm not gonna really talk much. You're gonna hear. I want you to listen. What I'm doing. I'm adding EQ now. You hear that? See, I don't want if I don't mix this. Now my keys are playing in the same frequency as my bass. They're gonna collide. It's gonna be confusion. Every instrument has its own frequency, so I'm gonna probably sweep about maybe 400 kilohertz. And I'm not gonna put it in. I want to hear what it sounds by itself first, and then I'll put it in the mix. Then I adjust. So right now, mixing. This tutorial is always about mixing. All copyrights reserved. Elevation Productions, 2019. Watch this now. Listen to the difference. If I slide it over, watch how much bass be in there. Always remember when you mixing, sweep at 0 from left to right and then go up. Don't be up here and sweeping. Sweep here and then go up to where you feel you want it at. You see that moving up and down? You see that? Look, it's moving up and down. So you should always sweep from left to right or right to left. So now if I go all the way over here, there's highs. If I come over here, I got bass. I don't want them keys to be in. I don't want them to have bass in the same mix as my bass line and my kick drum. I don't want that. So watch me sweep. And you see these frequencies right here? These frequencies is not above that. Watch when I bring this up. You hear that? I don't want that. I'm gonna leave it right there. Now I'm gonna sweep left to right. See how smooth it sounds now? I'm at 417 kilohertz. 417 kilohertz. All these other motherfuckers, I don't need them. That's when you had zzz. Listen. Yeah, zzz. Why they got that zzz? You hear that? I don't hear that zzz. You don't hear that no more. So now I'm out. That's my first band. Now I'm gonna go to my second band, and I'm gonna bring in these other highs, these other mids right here. Just listen. You hear that? So what EQ does is it detains shit. You gotta hear it. You ain't gotta know nothing about EQing. Just use your ears and know that everything has to sit in its own frequency. In conversations, everybody always want to compensate over the next person. I just want everybody to sit in their own conversation. We in the same conversation, but let me tone it the fuck down. You don't even know what you're talking about. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm fucking with mids now. All these frequencies right here, all these frequencies that's up here, they trying to peak, they trying to over dominate the chords. I don't want them to over dominate. I want them to fucking shut up and maintain your frequency. You listening? Listen, watch while I sweep. Always kill my highest peaks. So we got a lot of high peak right here. A lot of high peak going on right here. See my high peaks right there? I'm detaining them. So Jelly's sitting there. Now watch when I play it in the mix. It's going to be different. Listen. I got my bass. Now watch the difference when I bring in the drums. Sit in the mix. Now I'm gonna compress it, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna listen. So now I'm gonna go in compressing while the drums is playing. I want to hear it while it's compressing with the within the drum in its own frequency. Compressing don't mean nothing but make the shit louder. That's why everybody always they compress so much in their mix. Compression can distort your sound versus you think you getting louder, but you really distorting. The whole conversation fucked up. You got a motherfucker that came to your conversation and they ain't washed their ass in motherfucking 2 weeks, smelling like dookie. Then flip their drawers, they wearing the same pair of drawers 3 or 4 days, and then they want to turn them inside and out. The fuck out of here. We ain't doing that. So watch, now listen, you gotta listen. Mixing is listening. This tutorial is listening. If you don't listen, you ain't gonna hear what I'm talking about. I'm trying to give you knowledge and game about this mixing shit. You ain't gotta send your shit out. Just study what I'm telling you and you'll understand it. I studied sound. I know what the human ear can hear in dBs. I know what it can't hear. When you ever go to your ear testing, they always say, "Can you hear that tone?" Beep. You be like, "Yeah, I hear that." And then they turn that shit down real low. They taking out all the highs and now they seeing how far you can go down. Same thing for you producers. This is what I'm doing. Remember what I told you? I'm at ratio 2.0. I'm not going no higher than that. I don't want to squash it no more than what it is. And I'm going to let you hear it by itself. You hear that? Oh, fuck. Watch when I press it. I put that on the wrong one, so I'm going to go back. I put that on the wrong track. So let's go back and find that. Let's go find them chords, which is here. Let me just make sure I don't have that on nothing else, because I went back in my my steps. Okay, that's cool. Let's go back. Let's go take this up there. I gotta move this up though. This gotta get moved up. Now it's in the conversation. It was down by itself, sitting alone. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and stop the track, and now I'm gonna compress it. I'll put the compressor right down in here. Now listen to the difference. Watch when I compress it. It's gonna get louder. Watch with it. Hear that? You hear the difference? And I always turn my attack all the way down. I don't need no attack. Attack is the beginning. I don't want it to attack the beginning of my sample, of my instrument. So for this purpose, I need to come up. I wanted to come up 3.0 ratio versus 2, because I need to change some of that sound that is too loud in my ears. So I'm gonna put a low pass filter on them keys. So that's cool right there. For now, that's cool. Now I gotta go in and separate in bandwidth. A utility is a bandwidth. Now I want a bandwidth. Always put utility first. So now I'm a bandwidth these keys. Let's do the difference. That's 200 bandwidth. You hear that? I'm gonna bring it a little bit. I don't want them sitting up with the drum. My drums is between 0 to 50%. I want them to be like 150. Leave it 150. Turn them up a little bit. I'm gonna play with just the drums. I'm bring the drums in. Now, my next move is, in mixing, is to let these keys sit back in the track. I don't want them up front with the kick and the bass. I need them to sit back. In order to sit something back in the track, you gotta add reverb. So I'm gonna put some reverb on this. And watch how they sit back in the track. You gotta listen. I'm gonna go to my reverb, and I want them to sit back. I'm gonna drop a reverb in here. This max, this full out reverb. I'm gonna turn this all the way. Listen to this. You got it back there? Now I don't want them all the way out there. Right here, I'm messing with my decay time. You heard the difference? Decay time meaning you're going to get more decay in your instrument if you put more. So I always turn it all the way up to hear what it sounds like, and then I go back down to 0, and then I start adding in. So listen. You hear that, right? Now, I'm still mixing. I have them. That is the base of the groove. There's other instruments that I'm going to add. But I'm not going to go there yet. I'm going to kill this feed. But I want to show you another trick. If you listen to these chords, they dry. They ain't got no swing to them. I'm going to add some delay to try to swing them into the drum track. Now this is a process that takes time. I don't have certain numbers that I use for bass. I just listen. So watch what I do when I add some delay to this. Now, see, that's a lot. You have delay? Now watch what I do. I'm just going to put a little bit on there. Just a little bit. But I got to catch my timing with it. No delay. So I'm going to play my drum track only to see how it fits in with the drum. There's a formula that you use, but I just use my ear versus the formula. ain't gonna hear it when I stop it. Listen. See how I just stopped? Delay allows it to. You swinging it. You swinging them chords. So I'm gonna swing my chord. You could set a feature in here to swing, but I want to swing not what they want me to swing. I want to swing the way I feel, and that's what I'm doing. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a low pass filter on these keys to turn them down because they're too loud in my ears. And what I mean by this is what a low pass filter would do to this track. So I'm gonna go to a low pass filter, and let me just make sure I'm in the right one. Here's them keys without no delay. Here they come with delay. Here come the low pass filter. See, I'm gonna detain them in the conversation. See that? Detain them a little bit. Tell them to shut the fuck up. Y'all talking too loud. No low pass filter. Here's what it sounds like. You hear that? Now I see what it's playing like in the mix. You hear that? Too much reverb, when you hit stop, that shit gonna keep ringing. That's not good. It's colliding. So that really concludes this tutorial. There will be a part 2. I'm gonna go ahead and I gotta give my ears a break. You're supposed to break every 30 minutes for your ears. I've been running this shit for like an hour and a half. I'm not ringing because I'm detaining my sound. I'm not keeping that same frequency. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring it all in, let you listen to it. And that'll be it. I'm going to thank you for watching. My name is Granddaddy Frost Elevation Productions, courtesy of Elevation Productions. Copyright 2019, all rights reserved. And when you're mixing, it's kick, snare, hi-hat, and then bass. And then your instruments first, not instrument, not the piano and the kick. You gotta get the drums right first. My bad, y'all. I forgot I was in solo mode. I do solo mode a lot versus this non-solo mode. So I got my drum solo. Do the bass. I want to thank you for watching. I just want to say this. This track is for an artist from Norristown. He's a young boy. When I got out of the military and I was going through a transition, how to transition from military life to civilian life, I linked with this young boy when I was working down the car. And I met him through, y'all know Eric Payne, y'all know Bushead. This is his piece. He's one of the, he's hot. He reminded me of dark-skinned LL Cool J. And I was supposed to get this track out to him. But everything is time and frequencies with me. And I know he may not understand it. I love this young boy, man. This young boy is so, his wordplay is remarkable. You can't, there's no one like him. He can't be diluted, he can't be mixed with, he can't be tampered with. I'm not going to tell you his name. Just stay tuned for his music. He already got music already out. But he's dealing with other producers. He a freelance artist. I don't lock nobody into my shit, gang. When you work with Elevation, you free. You can do what the fuck you want. But any works we do, we got to detain that and maintain that. I just want to let you know. Stay tuned for his music because I'm going to help him. I helped him back in 93. We talking 20 years ago. He's a young man now. He's doing good for himself. He had some setbacks. We all got setbacks. I had setbacks. But now we back and we formulating. So I just want y'all to know that. This track is for him. Him only. No one else can get this track. So I just want to let you know that. Thank you for watching. Peace.